So this is the KLX 250S. It's new to me. Pretty sweet motorcycle. This is the 2007 version. It's a pretty cool motorcycle. I like the way the styling looks. A lot of people don't like the outdated styling, but I don't know why I kind of like it. I just think it's pretty cool. The first thing I did was fix the air box. So this was a little rough. I got this for $2,000. In my area, generally motorcycles like this go for a little bit more, maybe $2,800 to $3,000. It was pretty dirty when I got it. There was a lot of issues with it. One of the first ones was the air box. The air box was kind of messed up. I was missing that bolt right there, so I put that bolt in, replaced that. The snorkel has been removed, so we just cleaned the air filter, made sure that the air filter was good. Got a list of things that I did to it. I bled the brakes, so both the front and the rear brakes needed to be bled. Bled both of those. There was some nasty stuff in them. This rear reservoir right here was completely empty when I got this bike. Yikes, that was scary. The throttle was super sticky. I took apart the throttle and cleaned it, and that fixed the stickiness for the throttle. So that was, I mean, it's just time. I'd never taken a throttle apart before, so that was pretty cool that I was able to fix it like that. I replaced the battery. The battery was from 2015, and it was still starting the bike just fine, but the guy that I bought it from, the local guy, he said he probably need to replace the battery soon, so I just went ahead and replaced the battery. And I swapped it out from just a standard battery to a LifePo battery. I've never had a LifePo battery before. They're much lighter. They have more cold cranking amps, and they're supposed to last a long time. And it was about twice as expensive as a standard battery, but they're supposed to last at least twice as long. I live in a really hot climate. Our batteries can die in anywhere from 2 to 3 years. It just depends on, like, just a standard lead acid battery. The batteries can die quick. I put new brake pads on, front and rear, replaced both the brake pads. The brake pads had about a dime's worth of brake pad left. And brake pads are relatively inexpensive. I think I paid like $32 out the door for both sets. So that was sweet. I was able to do that, and it worked out great. There was a lot of electrical issues as well. So now the light works now, and then if I turn on the blinkers, both the blinkers were broken. But if I turn on left blinker, I've got left blinker on both sides now. I've got right blinker. Having an issue with this blinker over here. That blinker's blinking. This one's still broken. I rewired this one. Oh, feel that? Look at that. Something's messed up because I rewired half of this assembly and I fixed it. And I thought I got it all. I kind of went through the assembly and resoldered everything, but there must be still a loose connection because it's giving me some trouble still. So I'll need to finish working on that. It's pretty simple to take apart the front piece. I really like how simple this bike is. It's easy to work on. It's easy to figure out what I need to do. But the electrical gremlins are a little rough. I'll get that figured out eventually, but it's mainly an off-road bike, or I want to make it mainly an off-road bike. So hopefully I won't be spending too much time on the road, but I do want to fix it up and get it all ready to rock and roll. The seat was ripped, so that was a little unfortunate. It was ripped in a couple of places. Right here, just put some tape on it, and if it rips anymore, then I'll need to reupholster the seat. That was about it. Runs really good. Has about 8,000 miles on it, 8,600 miles on it, and all in all, it feels like a really solid bike. I'm really excited about it. So I was considering getting a Surron or a Talaria because I really want an e-bike. I do have an e-bicycle, and that's pretty cool, but the range just isn't quite there for the Surron or the Talaria for me to really dive into it. A used Surron was about $3,500 here, and I would get about 16 miles worth of range on a full charge if I was really going to hammer it, and maybe 30 to 40 miles if I was being pretty gentle with it. Whereas this motorcycle, I could get it for $2,000. Sure, I have to register it. Sure, I have to insure it. But I mean, I think at like $2,250 right now, or $2,300 if you include the fork oil and the fork seals that I purchased. I would eventually really like to get a dirt e-bike. I don't think the time's right now. I think 5 more years and maybe I'll be ready to make the jump. Another first for me, I haven't really ridden in sand, and I took this out and I rode in sand for the first time. This bike is way different than my other bike that I have that I've taken off-road, and it's so much lighter, so much easier to manage. I was considering taking my Kawasaki Versys and using that as an off-road bike. I was going to put some beefy tires on it and do that, but I decided against it, and I decided just to purchase a more dirt-oriented dual sport, and I'm glad I did, because it handles so much better in situations where I don't have a lot of grip. But it also, I mean, my riding style is going to need to change quite a bit. I'm not sure really what to do with my body when I'm standing and going up hills. I ride mountain bikes quite a bit, and I pedal when I go uphill. I ride a rigid single speed, so it's a little different than a full suspension bike that has a throttle on it. But I really like the KLX 250. I like how forgiving 250s are. They're just so much fun to ride. I just love stuff with 2 wheels. I'm super excited to have it. Maybe we'll kick around right now and just talk about the bike for just a little bit. Going to do a video on the forks. I've never taken apart forks before, so it's going to be just a big fun project that we'll work on together and figure it out. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube for doing forks for a KLX 250S, and all of them assume that you kind of know what's going on, or you've taken apart a bike before. So I'm excited to do a video and kind of do a step-by-step process. It's going to be a longer video for sure, but it's going to, hopefully, we'll be able to just walk through that, and you can reference it, or I can reference it next time I do forks or anything like that. So we'll figure that out together. That should be fun. Anyway, let's take this for a spin. So this bike is quite a bit louder than my other bike, and this is the first time I'm actually riding on it and talking to you at the same time. So this is going to be one big test. I'm just going to cruise up the mountain real quick, and then we'll head on back. Keep upshifting, probably don't need to. Probably shouldn't upshift. Got a couple dogs, a couple people. Anyway, what just happened? It's still not warm. So standing up, going uphill, this is one of the things that I was kind of talking about, and it's like super new to me. I think I'm in second gear that I need to get used to. I need to get used to standing up, getting kind of off the bike, so I can let the bike do its work, especially in like low traction situations. Kind of let it just move around a little bit. I was trying to practice that in some sand the other day, and it's a new experience, that's for sure. You're kind of trolling a little too low there. And again, I'm not really familiar with the bike. I don't really know what too low sounds like, what a better sound is. Like, I'll get used to it. I need to oil the chain. The chain's super noisy. Anywho, I just kind of wanted to come out here and just show you the bike and show you what it would be like, but also test the audio. I'm excited to go on a couple of adventures with you guys and get out, find some dirt trails, explore some new sections. Oh man, this is kind of rough. What's amazing to me is how well the suspension just kind of eats up the bumps. It just soaks them up. It's got such plush suspension, a little too plush maybe, and I feel much more comfortable standing up going downhill, because this is That's what I do all the time on my dirt bicycle. But standing up going uphill, it's like, you know, I stand up when I pump, but I don't stand up and just stand there. It's kind of a new experience. So I'll have to kind of figure that out. And I do need to get some boots, some off-road boots. So I've taken this off-road just a couple of times, and I've already, I mean, what's the statistic? I hear like 20 to 25% of all injuries off-road happen from like the knee down. It's because, you know, you're falling over, you're hitting your bike, you're clipping your ankle on a rock or something, or, you know, something happens and it's a problem. So, and I think a lot of it can be avoided just by wearing some nice boots. So that's the next purchase, I think, is getting a little bit more riding equipment, getting some boots. I've never had dedicated motorcycle boots. I thought about it a lot, but they're not the cheapest, and just riding around town, I don't really hit the highway a lot. It just never felt like I really needed it. You know, I'll just wear some normal boots, or I'll just wear some other equipment and I'll be fine, or just don't crash, right? You know, that's not a great that's not a great philosophy. Oh, we're back on the street. We gotta become street legal again. Boom, street legal. Super easy. Okay, we're finally warm again. Thanks for coming on this ride with me. It was super fun. I'm excited to do the forks on this bike so they can, you know, stop. They're not leaking very bad, but they are leaking, and I considered just cleaning the fork seals, and I did that, and I'm just gonna change it all, because I'm gonna change all the fluid and all the entire bike just to make sure it's ready to rock and roll. Anyway, thanks for watching.